Editing Sara here. Except I didn't edit this one. Ren the Barbarian, our dear friend, edited this for me because I was really, really busy. So a shout out to Ren. Thank you for doing a beautiful job of the edit.
I want to go to the yellow room. The others don't seem like fun, but the yellow one does.
Oh no, God, the blue one with the noise?
Yeah, we'll get into it, but I even found that hard to watch because
that's why I gave a content warning. Like, if you get overwhelmed.
Yeah, the stimuli is just like,
oh, you did. I totally forgot about that.
Yeah. I forgot about it too, but I remember it now.
It's so helpful when everyone gave it months ago. But it's a lot.
Well, I have thoughts about it all too.
Okay, so let's get into it. Hi, friends.
Hello, Poppets.
Howdy, y'all.
I'm Sara Ezzat. I make the Costume Codex videos on YouTube.
I'm Jack Kramme, editor / right-hand man for Passion of the Nerd and editor for Chipperish Media.
And I'm Josh.
And that's enough. And this is Muppet Sex and Trauma, and we are just so glad to be back.
We are. So glad.
Yeah, Jack is fit and healthy and back with us.
I did it. I beat the spicy cough.
Damn right you did.
Yeah.
Kicked his ass. And we're all in the right colors. We've got some blue hair and red dress and yellow uniform.
I say this every episode, but my God, I love this man. Just look at him.
I'm just doing my thing, Jack. I'm just living my life.
And that's the way to start this. So we're here to talk about the episode Through the Looking Glass.
Oh boy, we are. Yes, we are.
This episode was written by David Kemper, who previously wrote Rhapsody in Blue, and directed by Ian Watson, who we've seen before in They've Got a Secret, which was very good, and Jeremiah Crichton. Enough said.
Yeah, and Jeremiah Crichton.
He was a bullfrog.
Through the Looking Glass finds our crew fractured. Moya's pregnancy is causing Starburst problems, and no one can decide what to do about it. Dargo and Zahn want to leave. John wants to stay for the wormholes. Aaron will not abandon Moya. And Rigel is Rigel and wants to see if he can trade her in. Chiana has noticed something the others didn't. Pilot and Moya can hear them.
The DRGs have ears.
Frightened of losing her crew, Moya decides to starburst immediately, despite her pregnancy and its issues. And something goes wrong. Of course something goes wrong. As everyone prepares to deal with the fallout from the crash, they notice Rigel is missing. And then first Dargo, and then Aaron disappear. John is left with an injured Zahn and a scared Chiana. Taking charge, John delegates Zahn to comfort a panicked pilot, and sends Chiana to look for Rigel. While looking for Aaron in the maintenance bay, he hears an unusual sound. Drawing closer, he gets sucked into a portal and finds himself in a Moya filled with dizzying, nauseating red light. Dargo is there too, but he and John are too sick to find each other. Wandering around, John hears the noise again, this time from the ceiling. He pulls himself through and into a Moya full of blue light, and a piercing, painful sound. This time he finds Aaron, and after a game of charades, they get on the same page and go looking for the others. Checking in Rigel's quarters, John finds his tape recorder, and as he tries to take it back, he's sucked in and finds himself in yet another colored Moya, this time mellow yellow. And here's Rigel, who isn't acting quite himself. It seems having explored the sensations of light and sound, it's time for the third sensation. Weed.
I don't know what you've been smoking, Buckwheat, but we got a serious problem here.
Giggling at everything, John and Rigel explore this Moya, and John is able to take a slip and slide back into Moya Prime. Seeking out Pilot for some exposition, John learns that Moya is stuck mid-Starburst, stuck in the seam between space-time dimensions, and that's why she's splitting off into colored lights. So there we have it. 4 Moyas, original recipe, blue, red, and ganja. Oh, and one more thing. There is a creature stalking them and using the ship as a scratching post. Pilot and John had to plan. Time to reverse the ship. But every Moya must be in full reverse at the same time. John grabs a reluctant Chiana for a spin around the dimensions to get everyone on the same page. As he completes his round, dodging and shooting the creature the whole way, but it is starting to act differently, and it makes an opening into a new dimension. Just then, John notices something about all the scratches. Leaping to the conclusion that it is trying to communicate, John sticks his head into this cosmic glory hole and into the 5th dimension.
The fuck, Sara?
I was trying to hold it in, but...
We just fucking got back!
And we're back!
Oh, jeez.
And into the 5th dimension. Shrooms. John is right, and the creature is actually trying to communicate. It's a sort of space-time janitor, bouncer, Zamboni driver? Something. Matter isn't supposed to be in this space, and it's the creature's job to clean it up. And Moya needs to get out of Dodge or be destroyed. John tells him they're working on it. They're trying to back out. But it seems that won't work. The creature can give him a boost, but the only way out is through. And they gotta go through together. So John takes one more sprint through the dimensions to get everyone all together, and it works. Bam. Out of Starburst and reunited. Everyone shares a relieved laugh. Well, almost everyone.
I failed to see the source of your amusement.
And with that, they sit down to a happy family meal, made even more happy with some news from Pilot. Moya's pregnancy is out of the woods, and soon this family will have a new arrival. So, what'd you think?
This is another one where I just really liked it, and I feel like I say that at the beginning of every recording that we do. I'm like, oh, I really liked this one, but I really did. We'll get into it, but I loved how it was just really clever in the way it was written, I think. And also, this was another episode for me that felt like a horror movie. In parts, it felt like a horror movie. And given I'm not a huge sci-fi fan, I don't know if that's a common thing for sci-fi to dip its toes into, but I wasn't really expecting to see that as much as we have up to this point, because this is episode 17 of the first season. So yeah.
Yeah, no, I had a blast with it also. I was going back and forth after I was done watching it with, and this is rare for me, with thinking to myself, was it too on the nose?
Okay.
Was it? Should it have been more subtle? I guess was kind of where I was debating with. And you listen, Sara, Jack, y'all know, I don't need subtle in my life. I'm a Star Trek fan. Like we left subtle back in 1967. But as I was finishing it up, I was just kind of like, okay, I get it. Go forward together. Okay. That said, I enjoyed the ride immensely. I had a blast with it.
Yeah, over the years, I think I've become more and more fond of this one, just because I love everybody working together, like really working together on the same page. And that scene at the end with everybody together, it's just so heartwarming.
Honestly.
But you won't be surprised. Can you guess what David Kemper originally intended to do with this idea?
I think I kind of know, but I don't want to say it.
Make it as a TNG episode.
Oh, okay. Okay, yeah,
Really?
that's not where I thought you were going. Okay.
Yeah, the original idea with the creature and the dimensions and stuff was an idea he was kicking around for a TNG episode, but it didn't work out, and so he decided to bring it to Farscape. And I think just the thematic stuff of, the only way out is through, and through together. It's on the nose, but I like it.
Yeah.
Really, Sara?
I also loved how much of a team effort it was in this one, and once again we have Crichton taking the lead, and he leads the charge. But I like that it was a team effort to save the day rather than just Crichton John McClaning the shit out of it and just yeah.
Yeah, he's doing a sort of a conductor rather than trying to do all the jobs.
Yeah.
Orchestra, not train, right?
Yes, orchestra.
I was thinking about train, and that works. That works pretty well. I also, and we can dig into this as well, but one of my highlights was just how simple yet effective the visuals were.
Yes, absolutely.
Like they just had like 3 or 4 guys running around changing the light bulbs real quick.
Yeah.
And the cameraman was like, "Okay, just shake it." No, but like really shake it.
Yeah.
Well, I think they put a lot of effort into changing the framing and the directing styles and changing up the sound. That makes a big difference. That they use different sound design in each.
Yeah.
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 This is the champagne of bottle episodes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love the use of sound and lighting, and the different camera angles and camera effects to show the effects of the different zones and whatnot. And there's nothing too fancy going on. It's simple stuff, but it's done in a way that's like really effective and just really cool. I think like there's one shot. I think it's where Crichton first transitions from, is it the red zone to the blue zone? He kind of like goes through the floor and the camera flips over. I thought that was really clever. I really like that.
Same.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, push-ups into another dimension,
or
chin-ups.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Exercise. Who's got time? But then it when we finally got an exterior vision of the 3 Moyas, that was actually an accurate depiction of the direction that he went, and I like that.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That's cool. Yeah, that's a great little detail.
Yeah, the CGI is beautiful.
Really, though, honestly.
Is it just me, or does the CG in this look a little better than it has previously? I felt like it's getting better. I don't know.
I think also it's just like when you scale back, you can spend more time when it's just the transition into the Shrooms dimension and the sight of the outside of Moya. So it's less is more.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, some shows and movies even try to do things that are sort of beyond their means or beyond their budget, and at least at the moment, I don't think Farscape has really done that. Maybe some of the CG in the early episodes, as I said, but I mean, we're talking about a TV show produced in Australia in the early 2000s, so maybe I'm even being a little bit too harsh there. But I just love how, for the most part, the show doesn't really try anything it isn't incapable of doing.
Yeah, they have an every part of the pig approach. They just make everything they can out of everything they have. So you get a skilled director and cinematographer and...
I don't recall if I said this recently or not, but I feel like over the last couple of episodes they bought a new camera. Because the picture's been sharper. The picture has been a lot more like... I don't know the terms for it, but it looks
sharper, but also like smoother too. Like I wasn't sure if I was just imagining things there, but yeah, it seems it stepped up a bit in its quality.
Also, I think they're really finding their style. So we usually start with move from general to talking about their standout character moments. We didn't really get. I don't know that we got individual development, but we got some great moments. So should we start with Dargo?
Josh, why don't you take the lead, sir?
Red Room first. Yeah, I can do that. So I for all of them, I really liked how the 3 characters who wound up in each of the 3 dimensions matched very well both the struggle and the symbolism of that dimension. So Dargo in red, and red is usually associated with passion or occasionally aggression. Think about the red cape that a matador might have. And so Dargo, being Dargo, winds up in the red room, doing his thing in there. And I loved when John gets there and he's just so exasperated. Dargo has already completely emptied his stomach out. And he has nothing left to vomit. He's like, "No, stop it. Not here." Whenever John starts to gag.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do love that he finds the mask and he finds a way to adapt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He just soldiers through it. He's just like, well, okay, this sucks, but I'm just going to adapt, and yeah.
Like Aaron did with the headphones.
He also did a really good job of keeping a level head despite the environment that he was in.
Yeah, I think they all did for the most part, except for Rigel, who just thought it was hilarious.
Well, I mean, even Rigel, because Rigel was going along with the plan. He was just doing it ridiculously.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Okay, I was trying to save Rigel for later, but we can move to Rigel because Rigel in this is just special.
Take it away, Sara. Come on, Sara, tell us about Rigel.
What's the song? Rosie, we may have traversed. But Rigel, glory be, must travel in reverse. And I was thinking when I watched it that we should have watched this one together because I kind of wanted to see what Jack's face was too. Shall I disrobe to make it more memorable?
Yeah. And Gianna, yes.
She was like,
that was my favorite part. She was like, yes. Yeah, I loved Rigel in this episode. I especially the scene where Crichton first gets to the yellow zone. They're just giggling, and it's really adorable and wholesome. Even though I didn't get a lot of the jokes, I still found myself laughing. Except for Ryan just no, I don't tell jokes, and then he starts laughing, and then I laugh too, and then John says, "I've got to get out of here before I end up like you." And Ryder's like, "What? Handsome with a great sexual prowess?" Oh my god. It just got funnier and funnier. I was expecting a "that's what she said" joke. I really thought that was coming, and it didn't come.
I don't think any of the jokes are actually funny, but you just can't help but laugh anyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
well, Ben Browder did a lot of good work with that too. Actors fake laughing, actors fake guffawing, and fake losing their sometimes you can tell.
Yeah,
but Ben Browder was cracking himself up. He was having a good time.
And thinking about the fact that this was done with someone else doing the voice and then later dubbed.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I get the feeling that those laughing groups you see where people getting together and just start fake laughing until it becomes so ridiculous and hilarious that everyone just starts cracking up. I feel like Ben Browder was on set with this puppet for 10 hours, and by the end of it he's just losing his shit because it's been faking it for so long, then it just became hilarious. But yeah, I loved it so much.
It was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with it too.
Yeah, there's just so many fun moments with Marshall. Aaron?
Once again, just Aaron's a freaking badass, man. She's just adapt, figure it out, get it done. My girl is just, I love her so much.
Damn right.
And her and John, when they were in there together, it was just so adorable, you guys.
Yeah.
It was just so adorable.
They've really found a really strong bond, but a respect for each other too. And can I just say, I hate the blue zone. Oh my god, I hate it. I hate it. I've got this really strong aversion to loud screeching noises. and so I actually found this difficult to watch in parts. But I did like the use of sound in that zone, and how it helped set the tone and set the scene. But typically, when I watch an episode for our discussions, or just when I'm doing a critical watch of anything, I like to turn on subtitles, because it helps me to like digest it and comprehend what's going on. But this is the first episode I felt like where it was absolutely necessary for the subtitles, because during that sequence where Crichton finds Aaron and things start to go all fucky, they have this short exchange that I don't think I would have been able to understand if I didn't have the subtitles on. And I think that was the point, and it's not like the dialogue in that scene was super important. I'm just anal about knowing what people are saying. Like if I'm watching something and I miss a line, or a character says there's a word and I can't understand it, I will go back and listen to it again. I just can't help it.
Well, I was actually watching it with headphones on and the subtitles on. Mm-hmm. Just because that's where I happened to be at the time. I wasn't at home when I was watching this episode. And I was sitting there and was wondering, like, how in the hell did anybody know what was happening when this episode aired 20 years ago? Because if I was just watching this on my 4x3 Toshiba, box TV, I don't know that it would have been. At first, I think I would have thought something was wrong with my TV. Like, it would have taken me a while to understand what was happening.
Yeah. But it was still very creative in the way it was done.
Very, and I mean, our reactions, I think, are a testament to the effectiveness of what they did.
Yeah,
like they did really well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I find it overwhelming. It sets my teeth on edge.
Yeah, same.
And
really
yet,
uncomfortable.
I'm absorbed because John and Aaron are on the screen, and he has the line with like, there was so many good lines, but like, it's getting very hard to underestimate you.
And he just like real simple. Matter of fact, he goes, "Don't worry, I would never leave you." And she smiled so big when he's.
I want them to get married and have babies and live happily ever after. I want it so bad.
I just want
to like, and kiss. I got so excited I pulled my headphone out.
We've all been there, buddy. Again, just like Dargo, Aaron was in a situation where early season Aaron would have reacted very differently to current Aaron. Like, current Aaron was able to like focus and work the problem, and even the same is true for Rigel. Like he was able to like, yeah, sure, let's do it. Whenever Don was going over, and he was like genuinely helpful. So it was a really good episode, also to like have a kind of a character checkpoint on how far they've all come since the pilot, since the premiere of the season. So it just because each of the rooms, obviously, were thematically related to the characters, but also. Each of the characters had to, go with like their character development in order to do whatever they needed to do in each of those rooms. So it all tied really together nicely.
I think this is a really good one for giving us a character checkpoint, and there's a reason they're doing that. Is because the story is going to go in some different directions shortly.
Ooh.
So we have so far we have been doing the building the family,
and
this is the family is built.
Yeah, I figured we were coming up on the final act of the season.
So one person we get a lot of character information about is Chiana.
One thing I really loved that we saw with her is her still trying to overcome her sort of self-centeredness and but she's like breaking through that and she's trying to like work for the greater good for the team, but she's still being a brat about it, which I love. Yeah.
I was really interested in the different reaction that she had to each one of the rooms.
Yeah,
I've
I
been
was
sp-
trying to
I've
pick
been-
up on that, but I didn't quite get what they were going for.
Well, I've got some thoughts on it, but I'm not sure how much I got it right because I'm still trying to suss it out a little bit myself.
I have some thoughts. I think
Yeah,
there's sort of a we have her trying to when she's not affected by the red light, she's just like so happy and she's throwing it in their face and she's like, "Ha ha! I am queen shit."
Yeah.
And then when she's super affected by the blue,
Yeah, she seemed like more so affected than the others.
yeah, she is incapacitated,
Mm-hmm.
and she is the girl who, as she tells us, is used to being able to kiss or kick or frell her way out of everything. And here she's dependent on someone else.
Yeah.
And of course, we know John. We know that it's natural. He's gonna take care of this person who needs help.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's new to her.
Yeah.
And so I think it's like giving us this little moment of like, yeah, sometimes you need people.
Yeah, a little bit of vulnerability, I think.
Yeah.
Well, they started that in the maintenance bay when she was talking about, I'm out of here, guys.
Yeah.
And John was like, in the first place, pilot can't open the doors, so no, you're not. But in the second place, we need your help.
Mm.
Yeah, so I just think this is a great one for showing us who Chiana has been and showing us that, there's possibilities for her to grow as well.
Yeah. I've kind of like, even though she's only been around for a short while, I've just instantly fallen in love with her. I adore her so much.
I'm having a good time with her as well. And
It is easy to fall in love with she.
Yeah,
I
she's
continue to
great.
enjoy the sister dynamic she's forming with Zahn.
And there's something important acquired in this episode, actually. She's got a nickname. Because John, you notice John gives people he loves nicknames.
What did he
Like,
call her again?
Rigel gets a million nicknames.
Sparky.
She's Pip.
Oh, Pip. Okay. That's adorable.
From Great Expectations.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not up on my Dickens, unfortunately. Christmas Carol being the exception.
Great Expectations is long.
Most Dickens things are. That's
very
why I'm not
long.
up on them.
Pip he describes as the traveling companion, and Pip in the novel is a precocious youth who needs to learn patience and to trust others.
Of course, John has read Dickens.
Of course he is. But it's also just really an adorable thing to call Chi. She's Pip. And he calls Rigel just all of the nicknames in this one. Sparky and Buckwheat.
I don't know what you've been smoking, Buckwheat.
So I think this is a great one for our man John, too, because I think he's really
sure.
showing his leadership style. He's not
Yeah.
trying to dictate to everybody. Aaron and Dargo's first response to Crisis was to sort of dictate roles, and then they got zooped into other dimensions, and so John, okay, gonna delegate and work together.
Yeah. I get a little bored when John turns into an action hero, and I'm just glad he didn't do that here.
What I was saying was this is John at his best, yeah. So I completely agree. Like in previous episodes, he has been at his best when he's been a connector, when he's been a collaborator, when he has brought people together, instead of when he has, like you were saying, Sarah, when he's been the dictator.
Yeah. When he works as conductor of the symphony, that's when we get the best of everybody.
Yeah, and he abandons that sort of bravado than he has sometimes.
I'm just thinking about the nature of the rooms and what they say about each of the characters who are in them.
I was trying to connect a theme to not only the colors but the different effects of the rooms, but I came up with nothing, and I really tried to think about it.
Well, I think it helped. Right before we started recording, I looked up the color yellow, and And according to the always reliable Wikipedia, yellow is the color of ambivalence and contradiction, the color associated with optimism and amusement, but also betrayal, duplicity, and jealousy. So, Rigel, in a nutshell.
Yeah, and duplicitous would be a good way to describe one of the effects of that room, I think. Yeah, I just felt like the effects and the colors, like I just felt like there had to be some thematic thing going on there. That couldn't be by accident or just because it looks cool. I don't believe that.
Well, of course, colors can mean a lot of things, but red is almost always associated with, the physical body.
Yeah,
carnal,
lost and
corporeal, that sort of thing. So it makes sense for Dargo.
Yeah.
And blue tends to be an intellectual color. Blue associates with the Virgin Mary, although that's not exactly applicable.
Definitely not, and we have proof of that.
Yeah. But it's sort of like that higher calling kind of thing, and innocence as well. So, particularly like colors like lapis lazuli and that sort of very pure, incredibly expensive dyes were used for in art.
I read somewhere once that blue is also one of the newest colors.
Newest?
Yeah, something about the human eye not being able to perceive blue until a few 10,000 years ago.
Right, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, evolution and whatnot.
It's also like when we actually put words to things. Because the Greeks didn't really have a word for... We don't know that they had a word for blue because they, in Homer, it's described as a wine dark sea.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that, yeah.
See in Greece, like, that's blue.
Yeah.
It's like,
yeah,
did your wine look like Windex?
I wouldn't want to drink it. I don't think wine's supposed to be blue.
I've seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh yeah, I didn't even realize it was making Big Fat Greek Wedding.
I thought you were doing that on purpose.
I love that film, so I guess it's just in my head.
I love you two so much.
So yellow, one of the things that yellow is connected to is like childhood and brightness and hope.
Okay.
But this sickly kind of yellow, I think, like there's a...
It's almost orangish.
Yeah, it's a bit like too much. And that can sort of, be kind of disconcerting.
Go with me for a minute, Sarah. Check me in your color wheel there. So red, and the effects of the red room. So the red room was disorienting.
Yeah.
It was visually overwhelming to John and Dargo. They couldn't maintain their equilibrium. They couldn't maintain their balance. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I make up about that is that it's all about impulse. It's all about instinct, and it's all about being led by
control or something.
Being out of control. It's all about just like reacting immediately to something. And if someone is constantly being led by their impulses, someone is constantly reacting to the first thing that comes along, it's a bit like lurching around, like you have no equilibrium and no balance. And so that's what happens to John and Dargo especially. But Dargo has come as far as he's come to where he is able to be still, and to where he's able to I just need to focus on the next thing in front of me without reacting to everything that's around me. And then that makes sense why Chiana was unaffected by it, because in her normal life, as we've seen so far, she's pretty damn impulsive. Like, she just is used to existing like this.
She is a creature of the id, and red is the color of the id.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yep.
So then blue, and in fact, check my bullshit here too, Sarah. Blue, actually the first thing I thought of was like relaxation. Was calmness, tranquility.
Even with that noise.
It was so the noise is all of the information that is being thrown at them at all times, that Aaron is aware of at all times. She's insanely intelligent, and she's very keenly aware of everything, and so it's just this constant literal white noise, or it's figurative white noise until they're in the blue room, and then it's literal white noise. And so it's all about that overload of information disconnects her from the people around her because all she can see are like logic. And so she cuts through it by creating a connection between her and John.
Oh, okay. I have heard that blue light is believed to be like a kind of light that will like keep you awake. So they say like if you're trying to go to sleep, avoid anything with too much blue light in it. Like because So I don't know, just a thought.
And so Erin has come far enough that she's willing to connect with somebody, and Chiana is absolutely debilitated by just knowing and perceiving and experiencing everything all at once, and can't connect with anybody yet. So I'm almost there with yellow. I swear to God, I'm almost there.
But yeah, I do like the idea of Erin being able to figure it out by making a connection between her and John to block out the white noise. That's really an interesting idea. I like that.
I really wonder why they didn't go for green. But I mean, the primary colors are
I had a thought about that.
Red and yellow.
They did go with green in the mushroom dimension.
Yes.
I think the yellow room was all about a balance between emotion and control. So John and Rigel were overwhelmed by their emotions in that room, and Rigel, being a deposed Dominar, is constantly trying to like exercise control, but and the phrase that just came up for me over and over as I was thinking about it was like he just had to just go with it. He just had to go with the flow. He was, in the ganja effect as well. Like he just had to like be like real chill and mellow, dude.
That 16th Rigel, glory me, must travel in reverse.
And actually, like, just go with the flow. Yeah, that's what it was. And so that's why it hit Chiana as hard as it did too. Like she was a lot gigglier, a lot quicker than John was.
Yeah.
Like she took to that dimension like a fish to water.
Yeah.
The use of red, green, red, blue, and yellow in this episode was sort of why I think this episode was quite clever, because Moya tries to start Starburst, which is faster than light travel, and it's almost as if getting caught in that pocket between space time forced the light to split into its separate compartments. Well, I mean, red, green, and blue make up all the colors of the visible spectrum. So, I mean, it would have made a bit more sense if they used green instead of yellow, but yeah, I think that's what they were going for, and I thought that was really clever.
It was a prism.
Oh.
Moya was turned into a prism.
Oh.
And like even the CGI design of the three more, it was a prism.
It was. Yeah. I just thought that was really clever, using the idea of faster than light travel and then screwing that up, split the light. Like I love that idea, and I think that's really it's just clever. I think it's clever.
She was a prison, now she's a prism.
Yeah.
It's a pun. It's a pun.
This is like the greatest moment of Josh's life. He's like, oh my god.
That's it. I love this episode. My new favorite episode.
And it's no longer, they've been reclaiming it from being a prison.
Well, they reclaimed it from being a prism as well.
They did, that's true. They brought the light together.
By going forward.
Together.
Yes, the only way out is through. So, Zahn didn't get a lot.
No.
Unfortunately, we are going to start running into some issues with Zahn not getting a huge amount in some episodes, because... there's still going to be plenty of good Zahn. It's just her makeup was a lot, so there are some times where there's episodes where we have less Zahn because they're trying to because like that is a lot.
It's so intricate. That's got to be like 6 hours minimum work. Like that'd take so long.
Yeah. But I do love what we get of her, and it, having the healer be injured, so that other people have to do the healing.
I also really like the. I mean, and again, it's nothing more complicated than a bunch of guys with a lighting rig. Like the effect of the nothingness that was outside of Moya's windows that was like closing in on them. It was just very effective.
And then we have our creature, the cosmic janitor guy.
Kind of like Cthulhu again. It's the second Lovecraft creature design that I've seen in this show so far.
There is a TikTok about Cthulhu that makes the rounds that every time I think of him now, it just someone has a brief encounter with Cthulhu, but not in a.
I'm interested.
I'm not sure
Very interested.
how interested I am.
I think even though we have an explicit rating on our podcast, I think actually explaining the contents of the song would be too much.
Fair, valid.
But the chorus is "I fucked Cthulhu."
Wow, that would have been quite the adventure. Sexual intercourse with our Dark Lord Cthulhu.
I can get down with that.
So yeah, that's what now when people bring up Cthulhu, that's what my brain goes. I'm broken.
Oh, by the way, before I forget, can I please mention Pilot referring to Crichton as Commander? We haven't got that before, have we? That was I thought
I was crazy.
I was like, oh my god, he called him Commander. He's the Commander. Oh my god, I love that.
He told us in the pilot that was his rank.
Right, but nobody's like called him that.
Yeah, no one's called him that. It's almost like he was acknowledging Crichton being the commander of the ship or something. I liked that. I just it made me smile.
It's a pilot thing. He often uses people's titles.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a nice respect thing, especially because Pilot sometimes gets a bit shirty with the crew, which I always love it when we get passive aggressive Pilot.
Yeah.
Since you were discussing leaving us,
yes. So let's talk about the other character in the room, who is the room, Moya.
Our girl.
Moya. So I think I've sort of touched on this in previous discussions, but I really like the idea of making the ship itself a character, like a living, breathing character. But part of me wishes they were able to like anthropomorphize her a little bit, because I feel like we've always got like other characters, particularly Pilot, telling us how Moya feels and how what Moya thinks and all that stuff. Yeah. But at the same time, I mean, I know having an actual talking spaceship would be kind of dumb, but I don't know. There's just part of me that's like, could they do that a bit differently to make her like more of a character? You know what I mean?
I mean, there is a show currently that has a talking spaceship.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
It's a spoiler if I tell you what it is.
Oh,
okay. But it can work.
Okay.
But I don't know. I like that Moya is more about sensations, and she's not personified. She has feelings, she has thoughts, but it's not in a person way. I think so often on our stories, everything gets coded as a person, and it's interesting to have that she's more coded as more than a horse, but in that sort of like symbiotic relationship.
Yeah.
But I feel for her, like she's scared that everybody's going to leave her for something that she can't control, and so she tries.
Yeah.
And it goes wrong.
I'm sick of the writing almost like threatening to like abort her baby and stuff like that. Like, didn't we get that in the last episode or the one before that as well? Some sort of, oh, she might lose the baby. I'm like, just fucking stop, please. Like, I don't like this.
Yeah,
it just seems weird.
Really, it's not a good button, and her her offering to Pilot saying you can lose the baby, like no,
like, yeah, but it's also like, okay, fair enough, do it once in one episode, but they keep doing it, so come on, just stop. Like, you've already you can't keep doing that. It's too much of a dark theme to keep bringing up. I think do it once, fine, but don't keep doing it.
Yeah, I don't know. That just didn't taste right in my mouth. When that line came up and he was like, Moya has offered to sacrifice her own child for you. And everybody was like, the fuck? Why would you do that?
Yeah, like, bitch, what? The fuck did you say?
I mean, I think if we're going to use it, we kind of did need it. We needed John and we needed the crew to be like, no.
Yeah.
That is not happening.
Yeah,
I mean,
and because doing that gives it weight. It's got to have weight. If you're going to do that, you have to give it some weight.
Well,
I feel like you could achieve that by having them defend the baby rather than having them like tell Moya, no, keep your baby.
Yeah,
that's true. The way that they achieve it is not right. But I think I particularly like that when Pilot at the end says that there has been a change, that the person who has to actually ask, is the baby okay, is Dargo, who was the person who was most adamant, like, at the beginning, I need to leave, this baby is a threat to me.
Okay.
And so having him be like,
But I like that.
Fine, the baby is nearly ready to be born.
I like that too, because I feel like, he's a father. Among anything else that he is, he's a father.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the only parent among them, I believe.
I believe you're right. Unless Rigel's got a litter of tiny
Rigel has a litter, but that doesn't necessarily make him a dad.
That's right. Doesn't he have a litter of like thousands or something? Like,
yes.
A bunch of tadpoles, yeah.
But I am sure he's been ever so involved in the actual parenting.
Oh, I'm sure he has. As a Dominar, he's a responsible leader, of course.
He has fathered many, but I don't think we can call him a dad. There is something specific about dad, and Dargo is a dad.
Dargo is a dad.
Oh my god, he's basically the Robert Baratheon of Farscape.
Dadgo is a Dargo? Dadgo is a dog?
So, I think we've covered some theme stuff. Anybody else got anything more?
Once again, it wasn't Maldus.
You know what? Every time something fucky happens, I hear you in my head going, "Oh, it's Moldus. It's probably Moldus." And seriously, I thought of you. I'm like, I wonder if it's Moldus, but no, it wasn't.
We have not seen the last of Moldus, but no, it wasn't this.
So you can't keep doing this to me. You can't. Like, anytime anything comes,
I can keep doing this because it's fun.
The thing about the prime numbers, I was just like, all right, cool, fine, whatever. That to me seemed really unnecessary. I don't know.
It was quite a stunning leap of logic there.
Yeah. Like, how did you connect those dots, man? I get that you're a scientist, but come on, like.
I think it was an homage to Contact.
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah. And it is a very Star Trekian thing to do.
It is. Like math being the universal language and that kind of thing.
This did kind of feel like an episode of Star Trek to me, but I mean, I say that as someone who's not very like overly familiar with Star Trek.
Well, actually, when you were recording the voiceover for the episode summary, I was delighted to connect the dot that this is the same person who wrote Rhapsody in Blue, which was another trippy ass episode.
Yeah.
And there's going to be more from David Kemper. He is one of the staff writers and writes some great episodes.
Sorry, the whole split dimension thing has been done in sci-fi a lot. I know that, but I think it's done here in a way that feels kind of different and fresh. And like I said, like I just think it was done in a really clever way, like splitting the light into its visible components. And yeah, I really appreciated that.
Yeah, this is the Farscape thing. We're gonna take a trope that's been troped and give it a wee bit of a twist and some thematic depth. Even if the thematic thing here was obvious, it's an important theme, and Josh, you like to say that some anvils need to be dropped.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
We go forward together.
And so we are back together and going forward with the rest of Farscape.
Yeah. Oh, one thing I gotta say before we start wrapping things up. I agree with Pilot at the end when he questioned why everybody was acting so jovial. I mean, in the context of the fiction and in the context of watching a TV show, there was something that just felt very weird about it. Like the entire crew hysterically laughing once they got out of the Starburst. It felt weird to me. And I honestly thought that it wasn't over yet, and there was still something screwy going on. I thought, oh no, the whole ship's the yellow zone now, or something. I don't know. Something about it to me just felt weird. I don't know.
Nah, knowing that this was supposed to be a TNG script makes a lot of sense. That's a Trek trope through and through. Everybody laughs at the end.
Oh, okay.
I think it's a good, the tension is broken.
Yeah.
I don't know, they say that, the taste of death. And I don't know that this episode really gave everyone a taste of death.
Nah.
I don't know that at least that wasn't really conveyed to us, but I think...
Yeah, I feel like they have been in much more dire situations than this.
They got through a crisis together, and of course everybody ending up on everybody else's lap is just kind of funny. So I think I like the break the tension, and I will take it for Pilot going deadpan in the middle of the thing. I fail to see the source of your amusement.
This is one of the best ensemble episodes we've seen so far.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
hands down.
Do we want to talk about the bookend scenes, the two dinners?
I mean, I don't have a lot to say about them other than, they're really nice. The food at the beginning, particularly, like in the first scene, I want to eat that food even though I don't know what any of it was. It made me think of remember the food fight scene in Hook? Like, I remember when I was a kid watching that and going, I want to eat all of that food. And that's how I felt.
Maybe not Grandmother Crichton's biscuits.
No, that don't have any of the ingredients of Grandmother Crichton's biscuits. Just those scenes are just really cute. That's all I really have to say about that.
One thing I noticed on this watch that I really like is that in every dimension, whenever they're searching, they take a moment to have John look at the mess. So we're establishing, look at the dining room.
Mm-hmm.
In everyone, it's like that. There's this establishing definitive shot of that core place where they were sitting together. And, I mean, the end bit, we get things like, my dear, I've kicked more arse than you sat on.
Yeah. It just felt really, I don't know. Particularly the scene at the end, it just felt really warm. Really warm. And I really appreciated that.
And I don't know how well or poorly anybody got along behind the scenes, but it also felt like they were having fun. Like the actors were having fun. And that's something that I've come to really value and appreciate over the years of taking a critical look at media, even as a hobby, the way that I've done. With you guys in other settings, but when the genuine warmth between real people pours through into the fiction, it makes it that much richer.
Yeah.
I haven't heard any negativity about people talking about bad experiences. I think that there was a lot of respect. The cast members still talk about each other with a lot of respect, especially Claudia Black and Ben Browder.
Yeah. Because they wind up on Stargate together, don't they?
Yeah, they went to... And of course, everyone was happy to come back for the miniseries that we will watch at the end.
Oh, there's a miniseries? I had no idea.
Well, the somewhat spoiler, but not for any plot thing, is that there was going to be a 5th season, but that was cancelled. So it ended with the 4th season, and then several years later, because of fan campaigning, this was the precursor to when Firefly did it, they were able to come back for a 2-part TV movie.
Oh, okay, cool. Okay.
Sort of is as much of the 5th season as they could squish in. So we will come to that eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I won't tell you any of the events.
Yeah, no, I don't want to know.
Okay, so unless anyone has anything else, we will leave it there in the warm, loving, dining room and talk about our favorite parts.
Mm-hmm. My favorite part, friends, has to be Dargo. 1 Mippipippy, 2 Mippipippy. That tickled me in such an intense way. I laughed and laughed and laughed and laughed. I love it so much.
I was beside myself.
1 Mippipippy, 2 Mippipippy.
Yeah. So good.
My favorite...
Josh, yeah, what about you, sir?
All of my favorite parts were Aaron and John. They were just so cute together. So in love with each other. I just loved it.
Yeah, I love them too, but since you chose them, I'm gonna go with... Shall I disrobe so it's more memorable?
Yes! Yes! Yeah.
Sounds
Rachel in this has me in stitches. And the line about I've kicked more arse than you sat on.
Yeah.
That is also charming.
She's probably also sat on more arse than she sat on. just thinking about thank God it's Friday again.
So, next episode in 2 weeks, barring any disruptions of travel or illness.
I'm not getting COVID again. Screw that. Not gonna happen.
In fact, the next episode is called A Bug's Life.
Really? I'm excited, but also kind of scared.
Yeah, that's where I'm scared.
Yeah. At first I was excited because I'm like, I am a cute little bumblebee, and then I'm like, wait, no, this is sci-fi. This is Farscape. It's probably going to be awful.
It's going to be horrifying.
Yeah.
And following that, we have a 2-parter, beginning with Nerve and then The Hidden Memory.
Two-parters are fun.
Yeah, and we are going to cover that as one discussion. And if things work out, we will have a very special guest.
Oh, lovely.
Good teaser.
So, my loves, Jack, where can people find you if they want to?
You can find me on Twitter at lackofsurprise1. That's all one word with the number 1 at the end. You can find me on our Discord server. That'll be down in the doobly-doo, I believe. And you can also find me on Instagram at Jack Kramme. Yes, I think that's it. Yes, that's it. I don't post a lot, but you can come over and look at the pictures I do post when I do post them. Josh, where can we find you, sir?
I'm also over on Instagram at Josh Gosdin, and sometimes Jack and I send each other dinner, which is nice.
Yes. Oh, we fell off the wagon there, and we need to get back to doing that.
We absolutely totally 100% will.
Yes.
But then, other than that, mostly you can find me on Sara's YouTube channel watching her newest videos. What's your YouTube channel, Sara?
That's a great segue. I like
yes,
that.
well segued. I am Sara Ezzat. You can find me at the Costume Codex on YouTube. Been a little busy with school, so I haven't posted recently, but I hope to get some up soon. And also on Twitter at BluestockInSara. And yes, also in our Discord.
Yes.
So, and you can also follow the podcast on Twitter at MuppetsXNT1, and would love to hear from you. So, next we will be back with A Bug's Life, and you will probably get to hear more of Jack's invitation.
I promise. There will be lots of references. I'm gonna rewatch A Bug's Life in preparation, so it's all fresh in my brain, and it's gonna be a riot, man. Come and hang out.
I should probably.
Me neither. Except for I'm a cute little bumblebee.
They come, they eat, they leave. That's all you have to know.
I like that.
Okay, so
right.
With that, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks,
Bye,
friends.
folks.
Bye, y'all.
What did you say, Josh?
I say, you probably think this song is about you.
Oh, you know what? Someday someone's gonna write a song about me. It's gonna be like an angry death metal song or something, but it'll be. Oh, bless your little heart.
That was adorable.
Yeah.
Oh, thank y'all both.